Hello, I'm David.
Hi, I'm Julie.
So now we're going to do a review of Marvel Splendor. Hopefully you've had a chance to check out our how to play video and playthrough. So first I'm going to give you an idea what the game's about and how it differs from the original Splendor. If you didn't know, there is an original game and this is a version of it with the Marvel theme. So what you're trying to do is you have a different victory condition. In the original game you need 15 points and it doesn't matter which suits you get of cards. But in this one though, you need 16 points, the time stone, and a card, at least one card from each suit. So here you have level 3 heroes and villains, level 2 heroes and villains, and level 1 heroes and villains. And all the Marvel characters are teaming up to defeat Thanos. So how do you get 16 points? Well, you see here in the cards, you have different point totals. And how do you get these cards? Well, you have to acquire different infinity stones or chips. In the original game, it's precious jewels, and these are mines and different locations. And you can get points getting nobles, but in this game, it's locations. So you're acquiring chips to turn in those chips to get heroes and villains. So you'll see here, I got this far. I was able to get this location because I had 4 blue and 4 red. Oh, wrong one. I didn't have that one. I had 3 yellow, 3 blue, and 3 red, as you can see here. I was 1 away from getting this one. In fact, if I would have gotten this one, I would have defeated Julie, but she beat me first. So it's kind of a race game. So you're collecting sets of cards, and you'll see here I had 3, 6, 7, 11, 12, 13, 15 points. I was 1 away. Julie got there first. And how do you get this time stone? Because you don't use the time stones to buy things. So this is a little bit different from the original game, is that the only way you get that 1 chip or stone is that you have to acquire a hero or villain in the row 3 here. Another difference is you have Avengers. So Avengers, whoever gets 3 Avengers, it doesn't matter what suit they are, that's why it's gray. Whoever gets 3 Avengers first gets this card. However, you can get taken from you if you get more Avengers than the other player. So if Julie got this first with 3 Avengers, then I got 4 Avengers, I would take it from her. Then if she got 5, she'd take it from me. So it's kind of like a tug of war. So here are Avenger icons. So if you get Thor here, he's worth 2 Avenger tokens. And if you got Winter Soldier and you had these in your tableau, you would take the Avenger card. Instead of gold, you have shield tokens, and shield tokens are used to reserve cards if you can't buy them at the time. That way you can maybe deny another player, or you're afraid a player is going to take it before you do, or you can take one randomly off the top of the deck, and this is used as a wild infinity stone. And in the original game, a wild precious gem. Mm-hmm. So that's just a quick overview of how it's a little different. If you've played Splendor with the expansion, you'll see that kind of borrowed a little bit from the expansion.
True.
All right, so the way our reviews go, Julie will give her reasons, her pluses, negatives, and neutrals, and I'll give mine, and then we'll give our rating.
Yes.
So let's take a look at what Julie has to say.
Okie dokie. Well, what I have to say is that I think the original art is super cool. I'm used to like screen grabs. Is that what you're called, Dave?
Yeah, you're used to seeing screenshots.
Screenshots. And I usually am not a big fan of, art like this, but I really, really like it. I just think it's just very interesting, and I like how they portrayed these people. Some of them, I have no idea who they are, but I still think they're really cool.
Well, you're not alone on that, because I stopped collecting in '89, and so some of these heroes, I have no idea who they are.
And speaking of that, I love the different character cards because, again, you're learning who some of these people are, and you might be interested, like, oh, maybe I'll figure out who this person is or whatever. I strongly believe, because I'm a huge Marvel person, that every Marvel fan should have this game.
Yeah.
And obviously not every Marvel fan can, but if you can do it, get this game. It's super fun. It's a great set collection game as well, because you're collecting sets of these cards, and it's, as David said, it's a race, and so it's like such a fun game. And the last plus I have is the colors. Oh my gosh, I love the colors in this game. They just pop. They're so pretty. And the ones in the regular game are very pretty too, but these ones for some reason just really caught my eye more than the other ones. And I I love them. So those are all my pluses. No
right.
minuses.
So let's see what I have to say.
What do you have to say?
So I agree with you. It's a must-have if you are a Splendor and Marvel fan. Okay. Yeah, no, we waited a little while to get ours because you'll see in my negative, it's more expensive than the regular edition. So we had to wait for it to go on sale because, we're not like other reviewers. We don't get everything sent to us. All right. So a lot of the stuff we've had to acquire on our own. So it's slightly more expensive because of the licensing fee. In order to get the Disney license, they had to pay a little bit more for it. So that's why it's slightly more expensive.
Okay.
Now, it does have a few more chips in it, these green chips, but still.
It still doesn't matter.
I think they're charging you more for the licensing fee, yeah.
Okay.
So scoring encourages playing the whole board. So what that means is in the original Splendor, I played in a tournament where I learned the strategy. In the original Splendor, especially when you're playing with 4 players, you're going to have all 7 chips. It's possible for somebody just to focus on getting the chips they need to get the top tier here that's worth a lot of points. So someone did that and won the tournament. They were just getting the top row here because there was enough chips to do that.
Oh my gosh.
But in this game, you have to get at least 1 here and still get some of the lesser ones to get 1 of each color. So the way we've seen the game played in general is that somebody just tries to get the lower cards as fast as possible to get their engine going, their tableau going, to get these cards and maybe 1 of these.
That's how I usually do it.
Right. But remember there was a time when we stopped playing Splendor because we were using that strategy with a 4-player game. And it was really easy for someone just to focus on getting the top cards and win. So there was a time when we weren't playing Splendor much because of that. In fact, and then when we did play, we took out some of the cards to prevent that strategy.
Yep.
So this game, as far as I know, kind of prevents that strategy. Now for us, one reason why we play this so much, because it's a great two-player game.
It is. It really is.
And it works well with 3 players not using that strategy. And now with the expansions for the original Splendor, it also prevents that strategy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I guess what I'm trying to say is that if you're not a major Splendor player, you won't have to worry about it.
No.
All right, so moving on. It has cool original art, like Julie said. It's a fun drafting set collection game. There's another game that's kind of like this that some people said fired this game. That means Century Spice World has fired Splendor for me. We like Century Spice World, but we prefer Splendor over Century Spice World.
But we'll play it.
Yeah, we'll play it. But when it comes down to it, when we're wanting to play something that we'll
play this.
Again, we almost have 100 plays in Splendor.
I didn't realize we had that many.
Yeah, like I said, I looked it up. So other than the expense being more expensive, but again, you can wait for sales when Target has its buy 2 get 1 free, or when certain retailers have a deal of the day.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
You can wait.
Yeah.
All right, so let's take a look at our rating. How do we rate this game?
High. Yes, very good.
So remember, we do these separately. We both agree is enjoy playing it, which suggests it, especially since we are big Marvel fans. But compared to the original Splendor is higher for us, and that's because of the expansion.
Right.
If we owned Splendor and just Marvel Splendor, we play Marvel Splendor more.
With no expansion, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But because we have the expansion for Splendor, which makes it more expensive, ironically.
Is it really?
Well, because the original game is about $35. The expansion is $35.
Really?
So it's almost double the price of Splendor.
I just thought it was just a few of those extra cards.
No.
I didn't realize it was a whole...
In fact, we haven't done a review on the Splendor expansion. The Splendor expansion is pretty expensive.
I had no idea.
It's almost cost as much as the original game.
Get out of town.
Yeah, so we waited to get that too.
Shows you who buys the games in this family.
Right. Well, that's how we get a large collection. We try to wait for sales.
Right.
But anyway, I guess what we're trying to say is that we rate Splendor higher with the expansion. But if we didn't have the expansion, we'll play this one more.
Yes.
So that gets to the question. All right, Julie. So if someone doesn't own either version, what would you recommend, and why? Would you recommend Marvel Splendor or the original Splendor?
Well, I'd first ask them if they were Marvel fans.
Okay.
And if they were totally into Marvel movies, I'd say, get this baby right here.
I agree.
But if they were like, Marvel's okay, then I would tell them definitely get the original. And if they could also afford the expansion, get the expansion too. if not right away, later on down the line. But I wouldn't have them get this because it wouldn't mean anything to them because they don't know who a lot of these people
Yeah,
are.
they're not into Marvel and superheroes, and they don't get this.
Exactly.
But like I said, Splendor with the expansion has more variability, more replayability, and that's why we play it more.
Do you agree with what I'd say?
Yes, I
Okay.
do. But if we want to play something with a Marvel theme, even though it doesn't have as much variability as the original with the expansion, we still pick this.
I agree.
Right.
I agree. Because like
So-
I said, it's fun to see these cards and be like, ooh, who's this person or who's this creature or whatever. And again,
Well,
I don't know who a lot of these people are, but I do know who a lot of them are as well because we've seen like almost every Marvel movie, haven't we, honey?
I have. You haven't seen the Hulk one.
Oh, okay.
But anyway, this one, right, it also has a thematic goal.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
You're trying to defeat Thanos.
Correct.
All right, whereas in original Splendor, you're just trying to get 15 points.
To
What
get
is
the
it
nobles.
Well, you're just trying to get 15 points and be the richest player.
Oh, right.
It's not really it's a typical score the most points game. This is
True.
score the most points game, but it actually has more of a story behind it.
I agree. And they're both race games in that, what did you call it, collection?
Set collection,
Set collection,
games, and a tableau building, engine building.
It's all the same. It's just, this is Marvel and the other one is just
Right.
nobles.
So we're happy to own the original and this.
Yes.
But again, if you're on a budget and you don't want to own both of them, and you're a Marvel fan, get this one over the original.
I agree completely. Yep.
All right. Well, thanks for watching.
Thank you so much. We hope you had fun and we'll see you next time.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.